Thank you. Anyone? Good? Yes, thank you. Oh, for me. All right, let's call this meeting to order at 5:45 PM for the Special Needs Advisory Board. Let's check in with everybody who's here today. Vivian is here. She's just in the bathroom. Jasinia's on her way. John is here. What did you say?
Nothing.
Francisco is here. Okay. Larry's on her way. Alexandra and Madeline.
Present.
Everybody, good. All right, so now on to deferrals, additions and deletions. I have a few. I would like to take items in old business C, D, and G and defer them to next meeting.
C and G.
Yes.
Hello.
And I would also like to add to new business under a new letter of B, our guest Gretchen Rodriguez. And then I would like to also have her, the new business B, be the first item we discuss today. So that she can speak and be able to go on her way and we can get to our business.
We're changing 7A to 7B, and 7A is now Ms. Rodriguez.
But it's still.
We're all here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we're on a, okay, new business.
C, D, G is the new. Now, he made sort of a motion. We're moving A to B, and now A is our visitor,
Gretchen
Gretchen
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
And we are starting with new business before old business. At least that's how they do it in council. So if we do it, if they do it that way, we can do it that way. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add or subtract?
On old business, one of the speakers that we had here was asking me to follow up. Marquis. He was here the same day as Sweat for 40. He wanted to follow up. So that's why I'm bringing on their old business.
I have no idea. We had,
With music. That's
Yeah.
H2O Digital Arts.
Yes, that's the word I was trying to come up with.
okay. No, I have him under potential partnerships. That's the one we're deferring to next month. Because we gotta build our calendar first, so we can start looking into who we can add as a potential partner. And the process has just been really slow for us, so. The update is we are working on it. Stay tuned, give us a couple more months to wrap things up towards the end of towards the middle of the end of the year. We'll probably have an answer to all of them. But right now, we need to focus on the ones that we have up hand, which are the ones that are active. So I left them on, we're moving the other one over, so that's the answer to that.
Okay,
Anyone else?
then, well,
And can we add like a recap of the 4th of July?
I think that's on the announcements.
They're not. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, because we'll have some discussions on all of them, actually.
Okay.
so I wanted to, if there was time to talk about Angels Reach.
Under announcements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we can put on their old business, whichever you want.
Have we said we were gonna do anything with them yet? Or we just-
No, yeah, so that, then it's not old business, will be new business or announcements.
I think it was previously deferred.
Yeah, it have been deferred.
So then it would be old business. So then that would make it in G, the E. E. Angels.
No, H.
Oh, sorry, my
E,
Dyslexia.
H.
H.
H is gonna now be Angels Reach. Francisco, make a motion.
I make a motion to bring up the subject for Angels Reach under old business letter H.
I second.
All those in favor?
Did
I,
someone second John's motion?
No, we haven't finished that part yet.
Oh.
We're adding it to the list. Anyone else? No, okay. In that case, then I motion that we go ahead and move C, D, and G from old business to next month. That we add H under old business for Angels Reach as per the motion given by Francisco. And then we add Gretchen Rodriguez to A under new business and move the Missouri Partnership to B. And move new business to the top as number 6 to do today. Any seconds?
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next thing we need to do is public comments. We moved you to this, so you don't need to do that. We don't have anyone else here, so there's no public comments. We can skip that. And then approval of the minutes. Go ahead and take a look. Alexandra, there is one thing I see. Liaison is still the same, Claricel. Not that we don't look happy.
Not that we don't love carousel. What, we're taking her off.
Yes.
Well,
Do I need to retake English?
No, it's probably good to at least make a copy of the document and probably need a copy of the document of the day that Carousel was here.
Hmm.
And just changing it.
By the way, did everybody see our press releases? They're on the town website, both of them.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
So I am gonna start reaching out next week about the special needs safety program to the media and see what we can do. I already told the mayor that I would want him to be aware of it, because if we get an interview, I want him to be able to speak about it since he's the face of the town. But we'll see what happens. But it looks good, and Jonathan's all on board for making sure that we get any of those things in the future.
Oh, finally.
Jonathan's really good. I like it. He's overworked, but he needs a chance, when he gets a chance to talk with us. Maybe not this meeting, but next meeting, we could bring him in if he's free. And he's got a lot of ideas on how to help us promote what we're doing, rather than just us promoting, but more, there's more promotion ideas.
Fine.
Second. Everything looks good to me. You guys good with it? A motion to pass the minutes?
second,
All those in favor?
aye.
Motion passes. All right, we're moving on to new business and item A, which is our guest, Gretchen Rodriguez. Gretchen, you have the table. Welcome.
Thank you guys. What time we have?
As much time as you would like to take.
Okay.
10 minutes or so.
Okay,
Just give us an idea of what you're here for and let us know what you wanted to share.
yes. This is great.
Great.
No, we moved
Oh,
her on to this.
Right. So first of all, thank you for inviting me here. I knew about this program, as I was mentioning Gabby. Literally when you guys were opening this program, I was in Gaucho having lunch with my husband, the breakfast, it was a brunch time. And some people were celebrating and they approached us and said, hey, we're opening this program. Do you want to know about this? And I was very interested because one of my daughters, she was diagnosed with this, one of the twins. I live in this building. I was okay. I live in this building in the apartment 1133. As I mentioned, one of my daughter was diagnosed with autism a couple of years ago. We started therapy and she's doing well. But she sometimes has some episodes, some violent episodes, where we all have to be aware of what's happening. So on April 20th, we went to a park. We are always trying to go out to play with them, playgrounds. I literally know about all the programs and things in the city because it's the only way to deal with the reality. So we went to a park in Miramar, and my daughter was not feeling 100% okay. She was trying to push one kid, and I was scared, and I pulled her. So when I pulled her, I scratched her here. That was a Saturday. Then I texted the therapist just to let her know and everything, because I understand that there might be some concern if they go with some mark or something at the school. And then on Monday, we went to the school like a normal day. The teacher was not there. When I left my daughter, I left her with the therapist. Again, they knew about everything, what was happening. And I sent a message to the teacher saying, hey, this happened on Saturday. There was this episode, she has some scratches. This what happened. I felt she was going to attack the kid, and I pulled her. I didn't want to go through the situation. And I scratched her and was not on purpose, and she never replied. She came at the school maybe at 11 or something. When the therapist mentioned all of this to her, she was like, doubting all the time. She put my daughters to a room and was asking them questions, which is something I understand she cannot do. Anyways, on Tuesday, we went again at the school. She said, okay, what happened? We explained everything. And then on Tuesday at 11 p.m., the child protection, well, I'm home. I was sleeping because my daughters sleep early. We go to sleep around 9 p.m. or 8. They show up at home. They call me. Of course, I was not answering my phone because I was sleeping, and they call my husband like, we are outside here. Please open the door because we need to talk to you. My husband is always working until nights. He went and opened the door. The lady came to our house, and immediately she was like, where is the mom? Like if they were looking for something. My husband woke me up in the middle of the night, and it was this person in the middle of my apartment, just with an attitude that was very intense at the beginning. She immediately went down, but at the beginning was very defensive, which is something that I understand. She's doing her job. When she started to talk, she mentioned there are accusations for you, my mom. Coming from the school, I immediately knew that it was going to be the teacher, because I put a couple of pieces together to build a case. First, they were saying that my daughters were not dressing perfect all the time, that sometimes we were not sending food. And I said, yes, last week I didn't send because the teachers were bringing pizza. I didn't have to send anything. Yes, that happened last week. And the interesting thing is that this person at any moment was aware that my daughter was diagnosed with autism. It was probably after 5 minutes that I mentioned, are you aware of the story that I have with my daughter? Like, she has had episodes of violence in the past and all of this. She was not aware of this. She came like literally with all that case together. And it was for us like, okay, what do we do at this point, right? We've been struggling for 2 months. In my case, I have not been able to do anything else other than think about what is going to happen if they are going to take my kids, if they are going to kick me out, if it's going to be part of background check. Of course, I don't know anything, not from this country. I'm still getting used to everything. So in my mind, I thought, okay, all of this in an investigation, background check, I will not find my job. I cannot find a house. It was literally the biggest nightmare that I have experienced. I had to go and ask for professional help, of course. And it was until June 19th that someone called my home and said, we're calling to let you know that we're closing the case. And we want to go to your home tonight to check your daughters and everything. Of course, she came. Again, both of the officers, they were amazing. The 2 ladies in the shelter protection, it's just the lack of understanding of the situation. Right. The first thing is that there is no, they just show up my home like, I don't know what they were looking for, but they didn't know that my daughter has special needs. I was left in a moment where I didn't know what to do, this feeling like, who can help me navigate this? Should I go on call? Because at the end you are afraid, like, okay, maybe I don't want to do anything. You feel like, okay, I just want to be in the box and don't know, I'm praying that things will go away. Is that the right thing? No, I wish I could have someone help me navigate in the system. And the third thing is this feeling like, what do you do with all of that, right? Out of school, I went back to school, I called the director, she never replied back. She didn't want to hear that the case was closed. I just felt like, what's going on here, right? Like the teachers were not responsible at all. And my daughter sat in a Montessori school that is supposed to be a school that is prepared for all of this. Of course, it's not. So for me, the reason why I came today is because in the middle of my 2 months of craziness, I had a small light and I said, okay, let me reach out to these people that I met a year ago or something in the Gaucho, just to tell my story, to say, what do I do from here? And I'm very grateful that you replied, Gabby, because I thought I was okay after 2 months. Of course, I'm still working on it, but I just want to share the story to put a face to the reality, how a family can be devastated. I'm still working on my mental health, of course, because now I can understand what is experiencing PTSD without having to go to work. They treat our family like we were the type of parents that were never going to the school, that were never attending, which is not the case. They've been attending, doing the volunteering, doing everything, and seems like they didn't care at all. I understand if there is the minimum suspicious, things need to happen, but what is the point where there is a common sense of understanding that there's a kid with special needs and a violent past? So yeah, that's been pretty much everything, and I'm very grateful that that episode went away, and I'm still working on myself because I have this fear that they will knock my door again, 11 p.m. at any time. So when we check in, very scared whenever I see an official, like, okay, are they checking on me? Are they going to, I don't know, make a story out of whatever? Because if you take something out of context, anything can happen. And it's a trauma. I'm working on it. I know I learned my lesson in terms of trusting your gut feeling that if you're not feeling great in our school, move your kids out of that. But at the same time, it's like, what do you do in a world that is not prepared to understand that your kids need a special attention, that you don't have to call the police if you're trying to hold your kids in the middle of a tantrum, that you have enough scrutiny of the moms looking at your kid, like, control your beast. If on top of that, the school, the police system is not aware of what is happening, what is the point? So yeah, that's been pretty much everything.
Thank you for sharing all that with us. You are in good company, because quite a few of us have already gone through the same things. Right? I have 2 children with autism. One of my boys can get violent when he wants to. We've got a child with autism who's an adult, almost an adult now. You know, one of the reasons that I moved here from Florida, from Missouri to Florida, was to go to the programs that benefit the kids, the groups that are involved, to get involved in groups like this where we could make a difference in that kind of thing. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but on our website, the town website, we have a list of resources and places that you can call, and we'll give you assistance. And we'll find you, there's places like the University of Miami Tarn Center. They have resources and people that you can talk to help with therapies, to help with social communications, with connecting with different agencies in the government. And in our own town, we have a program with our town's police department that works directly through all of Miami-Dade. That is a special needs safety program that allows you to register your child on the program. And whenever the police are called, they automatically know that your child is autistic, what things are triggering for them, what things they should or shouldn't do, so that immediately pulls all that situation away. And then, you know, I love, and she's part of the public school system here, so she knows a lot of the people. Both of you, both are now. But they know, you know, a lot of people and different groups that are trying to adjust the school district to get used to this, but there's also a ton of autism schools. Both Vivian and I are part of a school called the South Florida Autism Charter School. It's completely free. And our kids get scratched all the time. And what we get is a little note that says your kid got scratched or your kid did the scratching. And nobody that judges it because we know it. Because we're familiar. My son today came home with a note that a child in his class in summer camp punched him in his chest. I'm not gonna go after the parent. I know darn well that that's not the kid's fault. Most of these situations are not their fault. And it's not your fault either. And I'm sorry that you had, you know, such a terrible experience that's one of the reasons that we work so hard to make sure that that doesn't happen to people in our community. And one of the reasons why we're here as a team. So, you know, anything that we can do to guide you to where you can get help, any people that you want us to talk to, anyone you ever just want to talk to us because you need to vent. We need it too. We're familiar. We've needed it too. So if you need to talk, we're always here and whatever we can do to help. I think you're getting a phone number right now. But yeah, there's a lot of potential, better opportunities for your child that you can get into.
How old is she?
5.
Yeah. So I would be, you know, advocating, if I was advocating as myself, I would advocate that your child be in a school that's probably specific for autism. Because while there are a lot of high functioning students that could fit very well into the programs that are at a Montessori or the public school system, when you have a child like yourself, like mine, where they're a little bit more aggressive, and that aggressiveness is going to be a red flag to normal, quote unquote, normal school, a school like SFAX, a school like the Carrie Brazier Center for Autism, Angels Reach, which is right here in our community as well. Those schools are centered around knowing how to handle a child that has autism that may be either low functioning or, in your case, dealing with aggressive behaviors.
Yeah.
Getting them into that school is critical. That's the reason I moved. Our kids are in SFAX. They've been in SFAX now since 8 years ago when we moved here. And I advocated for getting rid of it because I knew that they needed a home. And they really, because they were in the public school system in Missouri and it was not working for them. So get in contact with UM Card, talk with Vivian, she'll help you. Get as many resources as you can, and definitely Officer Amador here. That's the application for our safety program. Fill it out to the best of your ability and hand it back here to Officer Amador, and that way we can register your daughter so that she's on this program. She'll get a little bracelet, you'll get a little sticker, and anytime if there's ever a call that involves the police department, they will have access right there. It says this home has a child with autism, has aggressive behaviors, and that way they know coming in if there's a scratch. It's not a scratch because someone's being violent. There's a scratch because you got a child that you're trying to hold down. Because I've come up with my own scratches quite a bit, and people would think I got into a fight with a dog. So, you know, it is what it is, but you know, we're here for you. And I don't know how to say sorry enough because I know that feeling you're going through. I know what that's like. And I know that the concern, that scaredness that we had when we first started dealing with autism was like, what happens if someone thinks that we did this? And as the world starts to learn more, they will understand more, but we still have to educate them, and that's what we're trying to do. It's a long road. It's a long
Baby
road.
steps.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of courage to come out and talk to, you know, people that you don't know, strangers about situations like that. So that shows a lot on your part. And it just seems like somebody vindictive, maybe from the school, you know, something maybe they took personal. They spiraled it into something, you know, because even a child that doesn't have autism that has a scratch in the playground happens every day. That shouldn't, you know, jump over and evolve into the nightmare that you went through, you know. So and it should never happen again. Definitely. The program, the program here in the town is something that helps a lot with that.
Yeah.
Because you have officers that already know what's going on beforehand. So they're gonna be more in tune to the situation, you know, and more specific to that situation, you know, more. And then, you know, the more you write on the paperwork, the more, they know what to, evolve into, right? Or what they're seeing before they get there, so when they get to that.
Not only that, there's also, if you just triggered my mind. There's also a group in town, run by one of the ladies that lives here in Mighty Lakes, great woman, Marianella, called Hope for Autism. And if you join their group, they have parent groups where they go out, they get to meet each other, parents talk, you get to know what, you know, ideas and concepts and just drink some wine.
And
So,
give you some support.
and give you some support. Thank you. That's the word I couldn't find in my head. I like the wine and support for me, man. So get involved with them for sure. You know, I know it's funny because everyone's like, aren't you? I am. I've never gone to any of the parent things. That's always because I got 2 kids and I gotta watch them all the time. But I see a lot of the parents on the pictures and, you know, I hear a lot of their stories and it really helps to be connected. So definitely get into that. Vivian can help you with all that.
That and honestly, consider training schools. SFAX is an amazing school. The South Florida Autism Charter School is an amazing place, and Angels Reach is also an amazing place. Those two, you cannot go wrong with either or.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And they're close,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, you know, you're here.
Angels Reach is around the corner here. And SFAX is across the bridge in the other side. No, it's actually
Yeah,
Hialeah.
It's Hialeah.
They annexed that whole area. But it's across the bridge. All you gotta do is go across the bridge and you're right there. The thing about SFAX that makes it really cool is that it's charter school, so it's free. If you're already, your taxes paid for, it's like going to public school. You have to do some other stuff like, you know, hours and community work with the school to keep your child there, but it's worth it. I mean, they certainly understand behaviors and they work very hard to keep your child safe. Is there anything else we can do for you?
No, I think this is a great ceremony for me to probably close the episode and hopefully be able to move on. So thank you for being part of that.
No, you're welcome. And if we could get you a bottle of wine, we'll try.
And the bottom-
Gabby, put it on the list.
That's great.
All right, thank you.
That's great. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
I'm going to
Good luck.
Go back on to that. Thank you for the support on that. Thanks you. Okay, thank you. Gracias, Javi, for inviting me.
You can always be out.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? Let me give you my number too.
okay.
Just in case you need anything.
Yes,
And all I ask as an educator, do your research.
I know.
Bob Graham has an autism center, Hialeah Gardens Elementary has a autism center.
And you can always ask the tour, the
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
I'm one of the teachers there for
Bob
the
Graham.
EXP program. And we've had parents email to tour the
Especially
class
since
and
she's
they
so
come
small.
Yes,
after.
on that, definitely. Okay. That's
You have
great.
many options, but do your homework.
Yes, and trust your gut feeling.
Yeah.
And, I was ignoring that, the red flags, I was ignoring them.
I have a habit of doing that too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good day. Bye.
Okay, next thing up, we'll be really quick about this one, then we can go to old business. So I have a new business item that I brought up was Missouri partnership with Niagara University. So I have an email here and I don't know how we do this. What I was gonna ask you guys was if you wanted me to do more further research into this. So this Niagara University, which I think is in New York. I'm, as you know, I'm a news reporter at KRMS in Missouri. And the Department of Disabilities in Missouri got a partnership with them. And I'm not sure if it was through a grant or if they just decided to do it themselves. And this Niagara University provided free emergency management training to all emergency management, all law enforcement, all fire departments, for everyone in all the counties that surround our radio station. So all the counties down there, all the agencies got free training 2 days from this group. They partnered with the state to do it. So what I was wondering is, what I was thinking about was contacting them saying, how did you guys put this together? can we do something like that here in Miami Lakes as well? So that our law enforcement, both the police and the fire department, and if there's any EMTs or as well as the council could possibly get not only just training, but training from the university would be really cool. It's a 2-day training program that they did, and they did it all virtual. So you basically, you just put a screen up and then they sat there and they took notes, they talked back and forth, and that was it. So does anyone, you guys like the idea? You want me to reach out to them, see how they did it, see if we can do it with our town as well?
I mean, it sounds like a great idea, but I don't know how open. Cause I know Miami-Dade County, police, they do like their own thing.
Everything's by the county. It wouldn't be like the town, it would be
Right,
directly with the Miami-Dade
What about the fire department?
fires. and
So
stuff.
they do their own too?
Right.
Then we really don't need it.
you
Okay,
can get in contact with them if you want to help us
Yeah, it
out.
could be something to bring over to directly say, look, this is our, like if that. Company or university wants to say, look, we have this in case you guys can benefit from it.
Okay.
Put them in contact together.
yeah, that would be actually a really cool idea, because if we could get that negotiated with you guys, then we could do a hosting here in Miami Lakes and do an event without it, where we get all of Miami-Dade to come up here and be trained. That would be really cool. So, all right, I'll reach out to them and I will see what the process is, what they do, if it's something that's worth our time or not, and I'll let you guys know at the next meeting. Okay, so that's all there is. There's nothing to do on that one. I just wanted to see if you guys were okay with me, if that was a good idea or not. All right, moving on to old business. Let's start with the budget. Hi, Treasurer. How are you?
By the way, for the record, I'm here.
I was gonna ask you, the budget's in the back here, and I was curious, is that number at the top, is that the town's portion to us for Gabby's pay? Because I was wondering if they ever put it in.
The 9,000 that hasn't been allocated.
Oh, wait, we have elderly affairs too, by chance?
Yes, because you guys requested like
ID or
Sample.
Oh, a sample, okay, so this is sample. I was like, I don't know what that is.
yeah, I put like a little key on the bottom, like in blue text, but
Talking about the, I wanted to bring something up. I know that, well, I don't know how many boards have a treasurer. I know that that's not one of the offices, how do you say it? One of the positions that necessarily need to be filled. But I don't want to be treasurer anymore. I'm not leaving, I'm not going anywhere. I just don't want to hold that position. I don't know if someone else wants to do it or just stays vacant, because I know we don't need it. I know the ones that we do, either chair, vice chair, and secretary. I know those three. So
I don't think, she can correct me, I don't think the committees have a treasurer. If they have one, it's by not an official title, they just have someone. I know cultural affairs doesn't have one.
is it possible that we have one because our budget isn't really from the town?
no, because when we started Carousel, she said that wasn't, from the get-go, she said it wasn't really something that we needed to fill. And one of the main reasons why is because there's been a lot of back and forth and a lot of confusion, and honestly, like, I'd rather just, since Gabby is an employee, I'd rather she just let us know like how she did now. But I mean, of course, this is up for whatever you guys,
So you motioning to resign as treasurer?
I motion to resign as treasurer. I don't know that.
I'll second.
All right.
No one seconded it.
I said, I know.
You're not accepted.
So we have a second. All those in favor?
there's nothing in the committee. rules.
Right, there's nothing, yeah.
Yeah, I think, because anyways, if you guys notice, every time there's like a lot of confusion, and honestly, like, it's a lot for me. I don't know. like,
Okay. So we have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Officially relieved of duty. Welcome back to just being a board member.
Thank you.
In that case, I guess you and I should probably take over on this then. As far as the budget is concerned. I know there's two things we need to do with the budget. The first thing I need to know is, did the town deposit their share of your pay so that we can allocate it to you? Is that what this 9330 is?
That's just yours, that's the board's.
Where did it come from?
I think it's because maybe they had taken it out.
Yeah,
so
they
they
had to
put
get
it
it
back.
out.
Yeah.
Put it back.
Okay, so they put it back.
Yes.
So
Okay,
basically, we're just, it's like a,
so that is the money that was paid for you, but now has been given back to us because now they're paying you. That's what I want to
Now
make
they're
sure.
in control.
Oh, not totally. We still get to pick our events and they don't really get to say yes or no to it. That's the good thing. And they just get to know that we're doing it. That we have a little bit above the other ones. So we got the money back then. Okay, good. So what do we have to do? Do we need to allocate that money into other budgets, other line items?
So that line item, I think, is just always gonna exist, but you don't have to do anything with it. You just have to take that 9,330 and divide it into the different other line items.
That's what I was saying. Okay, so we need to move it into the other ones. There's 5 line items.
Now I've got a question. Didn't we discuss the changing of the names or the groups or the line items?
Yes, so in May. You guys kind of like discussed that, but there was no motion made. But before that, you guys did motion for, I think it was like. Maybe community programs, I think was changed, the title.
I believe we did.
I thought we did motion.
And
we
then I was
agreed
gonna
on
go
it.
back to, Melissa. To see if they accepted it.
There were some, yes, that were, I don't remember exactly which ones they were, I can look.
And I rushed over some, I don't have.
That those were changed,
Okay.
like a while back ago. But you don't necessarily before council, you don't need to change your line items. You just have to
Also
be
then-
more specific with
Okay,
what,
so this shows what we changed?
yes,
Something's wrong.
I think
I
something was
don't
like life skills and it was training. I
Okay.
think that's like what one of them here, I think I have a copy.
Oh my goodness.
No, I think that was the new one. That was one of the new. Does remember when we do the.
Yeah, I think some of the words are not supposed to be here. So community awareness, community programs, the programs are our programs that we're paying for. Awareness was outside work. Social and recreation, I think we kept that one as our,
Community awareness is marketing,
communities and marketing.
community programs.
That's our.
There's a difference between community programs and grants and aids.
Yeah. Programs are like, Hope for Autism. I mean, Arts for Autism. Thank you.
Yes.
Marketing programs, then we have our,
Grant and aids, we said it would be like the donations that we do.
yeah, those are donations and then training. Okay, so the social and recreation was our events. That's right.
Yes,
It's those things that are in the front. So I scratched them off to see it. So if you take aware, skill, social, train. you
yeah,
just
that's
scratch
just
all that
kind
off.
of like,
That
In
makes
short,
sense.
so like in short.
yeah, I guess, I don't know, it's like the main line item title, not like specifically community awareness, it's just aware. Okay, so it used to be community awareness, which what is showing now. Integrated services, I think was changed
Programs.
to
Community programs,
Mhm.
probably.
but I see it fine. I mean, I don't think we-
And then life and job skills was the other one that changed.
Yeah, well, we need to be more specific with it, and that's why I
Right.
put the elderly affairs. one.
The minutes from that meeting, from the May meeting, it says budget workshop, yearly items to be budgeted for subcategories. And we went through 12 lists, 12 items. The art for autism would be a program, DG cooking would be a program, painting with a twist is an event. And then we were going to break in those subcommit categories into which category and the budget.
Yeah, which we haven't done that yet because we're still learning what we're doing.
But subcategories in line items or just when you explain?
To us to explain.
Okay,
This is the permanent, guys. This is the permanent. We have 5 line items that are not changing. the explanation to council will be where it's coming from. So when we put a check out to Arts for Autism, we're gonna tell the council, we're paying Arts for Autism XYZ for their yearly program under our community programs budget.
Yeah, but like if you look at this one, the elderly affairs, like it says. Community forums, right? But then it has like the health fair, which is one of their events. Then it has senior field trip, like it's, I guess, a little more specific. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're budgeting
Yes.
specifically for it.
But it's because I guess those are their main events. They don't have like any other ones.
Yeah.
In a
We
way,
don't really
Those-
have any.
Those are their line items, and then in parentheses. Are each thing that goes into that.
yeah, so I spoke to Isle, so she could explain that to me. So,
Cause the second line item here is community forums and workshops.
And then
and
it's explained a little more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, health fair.
So
and,
then this is what we need to come up with.
Yes.
What's down here.
This down here, that's what
Which,
we're gonna do,
which,
which we did, I think.
yeah, we did that in May. That's the same thing. It just needs to be written out.
Yeah.
Right.
It needs to be written out. I tell you,
Like
what,
our cultural fairs, every event and every program is a line item
Cause it's a big yearly
Yeah,
thing. That's
exactly.
why.
A
Us,
lot
we're
of
still
events.
like.
in
Yeah.
bulk.
what I think we'll do here is email me. The
Got this.
words, the list that you guys came up with. And I'll put together what the terminology should be and add it to this list, and then I'll send it to Gabby to have it permanently added, and we can vote on it in our next meeting,
It's May,
I can,
May 3rd minutes,
May 3rd.
May 3rd's minutes. Which was attached to our June agenda.
I
You
could print
received-
it out if you all would like, and then you could. Work on it.
You wanna go over it right now? Well,
No, you don't have time, I'm sorry.
there, shame.
It's 6:30,
Well, that's why
you don't
we
have
put
time.
the cultural affairs after, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so let me just, I'll go over it, and, because I know exactly what it is anyway. We'll write it down, we'll put it in there, and then we can vote on it next meeting, which will be a quick vote, and then once it's in there, we can write the next.
what do you have to present to council?
That would be. Around September, because you would have gone now in
August.
July.
We gotta do it in August.
Okay, so we got,
Well,
next
you
meeting.
should have it, yeah.
Yeah.
The sooner the better,
yeah, next
just
meeting.
so we can
That's
send
where
it to
we-
the clerk's office.
So August, it'll be our first week in August, it'll be perfect.
That's
That's we need, you need
think
us
you
to
have to
do
have
a
it-
subcommittee,
First meeting
a
is the
special
second.
call would be, let me.
a special call.
But is August when we have to have the report done?
It says September, so,
So August would be fine, so we
yeah,
August.
cause you
our
have to
August-
like by maybe like the mid of August. to
Like,
print it
Right,
out.
our meeting in August will be the first week,
The
So
second, August.
So. it
August
should-
2nd, the second day in
I'll
August.
have this and the report ready for August is what you're asking for. Next meeting we have,
That wouldn't be too much to go over on the same thing, no?
no, it shouldn't be a problem. We'll just focus on that and we'll,
If not, we have to do a special call.
Yeah.
Which means quorum.
all right, so that's what we'll do. Okay, thank you. All right, moving on,
Did you make a motion?
there's nothing to do.
What do you need a
for
motion?
The budget?
We're not,
Okay, so,
we're not approving a budget, we're not.
so you're just deferring it?
No, it's just discussion. There was nothing to, well, you wanted us to move the money? Out of
I
that,
mean, you guys would need to like work on the budget, but you guys didn't do anything now.
What?
I'm not sure what I'm following.
We have to work on the budget. What's
have
gonna
to move the
happen is,
budget.
he's gonna break down by the minutes and everything, and then our August 2nd meeting, we're gonna vote and revise the budget. Then we'll approving the budget, and then we turn it over.
So do you wanna?
Yes, so you have
Put your
that.
position now? or-
Allocate that money?
For now.
That,
Yes,
Yes,
'Cause it-
and be like, write out specifically what each
correct.
line item. includes.
as far as if we know. Yes, for as what we know for now, yes. Because they ask for the rest of the money going and say, we don't know yet, we haven't spent it. I mean, I can't tell you what we're gonna do with money that we haven't made a decision, you know,
No, I understand.
so,
But maybe, okay, like a list of community programs, maybe that one we could put Arts for Autism, so we can at least have something.
We did that in May.
that's what I'm gonna be adding to that list.
There's
So
12
then we
things that
don't
we
have to
broke
vote on
down.
it today then. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Because we have 30 minutes and we have 6 items to go through. That's why.
Okay, there's 12 things
I just
or
wrote them out now.
items.
on here.
Arts for autism, we gotta decide what, out of what? The GGs, we gotta decide out of what line item?
Oh, and so do we
But
have to do
DG's
that
was
now,
out of
or can we do it
The
in August?
events,
You
But
can
we didn't mention.
technically do it in August.
Okay.
It's just something that's already been deferred,
just make
that
a
you
motion
eventually
now.
do have to make a
Oh,
motion.
okay,
on.
okay,
We got the-
but we don't have to do it now. Okay, I thought we had to do it
Oh,
now.
but
So then I think what we all should do,
divide the money.
Where we paying it off, yes.
I think something that we all should do is look at those minutes, since we have them. Look over them, so that when we come to the meeting in August, we're ready. Oh,
I'll give you an example.
because we
Arts for
didn't make the
autism,
motion, that's
right.
why,
Yeah,
and we didn't actually do it.
exactly.
Arts for autism, how much is that a year?
I have it, I don't know it off the top of my head.
You're
but I
about
have
figure.
it.
10,000,
Yeah.
10,000.
around there.
That would come out of community program?
It's coming out of programs. Gigi's cooking class is also coming out of program.
so would the, anything for the karate guy, so would anything for the, animation.
Painting with a twist is an event.
That's
What would that come from?
come out of social
Social
recreation?
recreation.
Events.
Well,
So do we do it now, or are we doing it our next?
It's elderly
meeting? We have
affairs.
other things to go.
The thing is that they were already like grouped up. It was just the amount.
Yeah.
right,
The town
But-
council just wants to
let me-
see what we spent and where it falls under, because they don't understand that community programs is everything that we're running, and they want to know what we're running and what we're spending it on.
right. Like, for example, we have Painting with a Twist is an event. Gigi's Walk is an event. Gigi's Gala is an event. Hope for Autism is an event. Let's say that is under social and recreation, or is that under programs?
It's under social and recreation. because
Social
it's not a
recreation,
program.
right there, we got 10,000. If those items it's more than 10,000,
No, that's not accurate. It's like the Hope for Autism wouldn't fall under social and
see,
recreation.
then
right?
No,
that's,
it would.
So-
It's an event.
so we either have to do
Arts for Autism is a program.
Yeah, but
we
we're
can do a
getting
subcommittee and then
donation,
submit
so it would be
that
under
to
grant
the
or
meeting in
something.
August, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
not an event that we're
Or
putting
special
on, so it's
contract.
different, it's a sponsorship.
So
Either
either
we go
have
over
to
it
do
today
a-
or no, but
we don't
we're like talking.
we don't-
we either have to do a special call meeting or a / subcommittee, depending on.
We
break
haven't even
everything
done a
down,
workshop.
and then in the August 2nd meeting, we vote, we present it, and then we're done. Or we can do it all on August 2nd, but keep in mind that that's gonna take a while. Those are the options.
So should we have a special call or something?
I think we should be fine doing it in August, because if we do our homework before now in the August, we'll have everything ready when we come here to discuss
But
it.
if we have a non-agenda,
Yeah, we just can't have an agenda because if not, we're never gonna get through it.
special committee for that. Just to put
Want to do a special call? You guys want to get together again this month? Is there time to get together a month? There's only 2 weeks left,
And there's their room.
so you'd have to be able to find out if there's anything on the 19th or 26th. That's all we got left in this month.
And keep in mind, you have another subcommittee that you postponed.
Yes, we did. This wouldn't be a subcommittee, though. This would have to be a special call, wouldn't it?
Not
No, this could be a
necessarily.
subcommittee.
This
'cause
could be a
is budget
subcommittee.
workshop.
This
could
could
be
be
a-
a subcommittee because we're planning,
Yes.
and then you bring that to the August 2nd, and then we vote on.
Okay, so then we need
Which
to
is
know.
if you, exactly, if you would do it, I guess, sooner, you can do the subcommittee, but if you wait until a little bit later.
Yeah,
It's really
Have to be
not
special.
Is there anything open on the 19th or 26th?
And then the other special, the other subcommittee, can it be done the same day as this? So you kill two birds with one stone, or it has to be two different
I
subcommittees?
don't see why not.
You can do it. Whatever's on the agenda.
I'm
But
just
those-
saying, so there
Those two
doesn't have to be
subcommittees are hours long on their own. One of them is the subcommittee for events was gonna tell us what on earth we were doing, so that we could go to the subcommittee for the budget and tell the budget what we're spending. Because we have events that are,
So you need to do the event
Every-
first?
everything's in the air, you know, we planned everything like this.
I guess let's try to do it all together, and then if we can, then we just do it for the next subcommittee meeting. Because it would be good if we could
That's part of this.
Events.
That's
Okay.
part of this.
That's part of that.
So then if we're gonna do it all together, then we should do 2 hours worth, 1 hour's worth of event planning and creating the calendar. And then the hour of the budgeting where the money goes for the calendar events that we created.
I just think it's better to have a longer day one day than to have 2 different days. I think
If
it's
the
less,
time is available.
Yeah, is there any time?
okay. Then moving on, because we have less time, 24.
I can talk through this. Unless we get a date.
So then the budget follow would be for the special, for the subcommittee meeting,
We
right?
would have a new subcommittee meeting that would be for events and budget follow-up.
Okay, so.
Do you have to
I
have
motion-
an event first?
Yeah,
So I
with an
motion,
extra half hour if
Hold on.
possible.
sorry,
So
So like 5:30.
do we need to do the event item first before we do the budget?
The events have to go first. but-
So,
What day?
but you
Antes de que
can't.
sigamos, que era la que valía el
26,
cobre.
you can only do 5:30 to 7, because there's a meeting right after.
On the 26th?
And 19, no,
I don't know.
the 19th. Is taken.
All right, well then, we gotta take the 26th, and we'll just have to crunch. Is everybody okay with crunching? All right,
Good point.
I would like to make a motion that we set up a subcommittee. That reschedule the subcommittee for the events and set up a subcommittee for a budget workshop to happen on the 26th. 5:30 to 7. Chair John Roger, Vice Chair Neil Levy.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I won't be.
Okay, I motion to defer the budget follow-up for our next meeting in August, which is line item A under old business.
Second. All those agree?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I do suggest before the 26th that someone start breaking it down.
I will. It's my job. I'm supposed to be doing this stuff, which I want to do. Just need to put it in my head and do it.
That way that hour and a half goes smoother.
Okay,
And the event one, the subcommittee for the events.
What
We
I
have to
could-
do that.
what
first.
I would appreciate for all of you guys, if you could do this for me, because my memory sucks. If you would just email me all current events that you are current events or programs that you have either suggested or that we are doing. So that I can know what to add or what not to add. So things that we're already doing, programs that we already do, things that I might forget that's a one-time a year thing, like Clary's stuff at Gigi's, like the events that we do there, sometimes I might not think about all 3 of them, I might think of 2. So if you guys have a list somewhere that I don't have, send me those and let me know so that I can compile them and add them together and start setting that up. So when we come to the event page, we can have most of it already ready to go. And I'll work on the budget stuff too and have that ready to go when we get there. All right, special needs safety program. Change that.
Okay, so no more we haven't had any more registrants, but I believe we're gonna have one from the young lady that was here today. Congratulations to Vivian before school ended. Hope for Autism had a proclamation at Bob Graham. So I've been wanting to say it for a while, finally, it's been a few months. Vivian was there and it's very nice. I spoke to the principal at the school. Because I guess everything after we got these cards has been so much easier. I presented the card, I told her I want to, instead of just giving it out, instead of the school giving it out, I want to intercept the parents that I've been interacting with all year. As they're coming in for a second, stop and talk to them about, actually talk to them about the program. She was super on board with it. And she says that she was gonna get back to me because they had to approve of the card. So that was something a little bit different than what we were working on. But since I'm at the school, you know, it's a little bit more interaction with each person, I thought it's more, it's gonna be easier for them to understand. If they have any questions, they can always see me and ask, so. Hopefully that will get, moved along. Also, since we got the cards, I've been going to the other committees. So I got cultural affairs, public safety activities, veterans, and education advisory. I gave them all the cards, again, refreshed them on the program, and, gave them extra cards, they were gonna give them out. And all that. What else, what else? I've been going to some of the businesses too, and leaving the card. Everybody's very, open to giving them out. I haven't had anybody with any type of, even looks, like, oh yeah, this is great, we would love to give it out, so. That's been great. I have not gone to all the businesses in the town, but little by little, I hope to.
You've done a lot.
But geez, it's tough because it's so many, but, and then all the stuff that I gotta deal with during the day and all that, so it's good.
You mean work?
I don't need any more work. I spoke to the attorney for the town, and we're working together, just to see how far the bill is going with the legislation and them being able to maintain the registries, because they do call them registries, so we have a program, but they call them all the registries so that the persons understand that when there's a public records request, their information is not gonna come up. It hasn't, it's somewhere up there, so we're working together to just see where it's going, little by little. And I attended the backpack giveaway on the 24th. Tons of people were there, give out the cards, talk to a few people. Unfortunately, a lot of people weren't from the town, but it is what it is. A lot of people knew about the program.
As far as that bill is concerned, did you still want, or did you want us to craft a letter to send to Tallahassee saying that as a board, we support this bill and we would like to see it passed? Or
I
whatever
would
we
say
need?
100%. I don't know how that works with the bills and the legislation.
That's
and all
something I'll have
that.
to talk to the
So-
attorney with.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Cause that sounds like.
Can you have the town attorney talk to Officer Amador about the bill and say, how can we as a committee write a letter of support for the bill? And you can give them all the details on what the bill is and why we're supporting it. And then once we get an answer of how we write it, how maybe have legal write it, and then we review it and sign our names on it. We could do that by August. I'm sure that would help. Just reach out to them and find out what we can do.
Okay, the deputy town attorney is out of the office for like the next week, I think. But I will follow up with him.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
No, people also.
Okay.
Basically, it was just working together in the sense that I've been asking, how does.
The town council would probably, if essentially my thought would be if the council is willing to write a letter of recommendation, like they normally do for everything else, or not recommendation, support, like they do for everything else, and attach us as the board, as a part of the letter, that would be fine with me too.
Sometimes they do ask the board to do it like on behalf of as well, so it all depends. They work, yeah.
So I just need them, I need legal to tell us what they want us to do, and we'll do whatever we. Thank you. All right, moving on to bags, flyers, and marketing. So we got the bags, some of you have saw them, they were in white, blue and white, and actually, ironically, having it in white has let us see that it was much better than it was the original one, and much easier to see. I know you guys, you saw it, didn't you?
Yes.
So we have several bags still left. We should probably still order another round of bags, but I don't know that we need to order thousands of bags. We have a lot of bags.
Right now, we have 175.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that's gonna go as fast as we think it is gonna go. I still do, we made a promise to them that we would like to order another round with the color on the tree. With maybe just the hands, I was thinking just the hands being colored, not the whole bag. Because the white really stands out, the brown and the black lettering did not. So it would be better if we could do all that and just have the hands in color, because it would look a little bit more appealing. Do we want to order that now, or do we want to wait?
I say table it.
Table, okay, so then if we're gonna table it, then the only thing we need to do is we need to make an adjustment to the budget. Because we allocated a certain amount for bags, we spent a certain amount, so what we need is, can you tell me what we spent total?
$400.26.
$400.26. Okay, so I would like to make a motion to amend the allocated money for the bags from, I think it was
Thousand.
1,500.
$1,500 to $400.26.
That's like.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. We will come back to the bag situation and we'll allocate new money for it when we're ready.
Yep.
But for right now, this is gonna work just fine.
I'm curious,
John,
did we have to
you
do a motion to cut it back down, or just could we have left?
No, we had to make it, we had talked about this on the phone, before the 4th of July, and she said we had to adjust the budget down to what we spent
Well, for next time,
for next
For
time.
next time?
not necessarily. I don't think you guys have ever done that before.
Yeah, we've never done
Yeah.
that.
That's what I was
It was
curious, I like to learn.
I mean, if you want to, you can, I guess, just to be safe, but you didn't spend the money.
I thought
and
we had
sometimes-
overspent, and that's. what-
No,
No.
exactly.
No, then I realized, I'm like, okay.
Don't worry about it, it just keeps saying.
It happens, I was just curious if that's what we
Because
supposed
we
to
did,
do.
as soon as we're
John,
ready,
you skipped C and D.
and we defer.
Oh, you were not here, we
Oh.
deferred
Oh, sorry about
C, D, and G.
Okay.
To the next meeting, we added H, Angels Reach.
So I think that was it, as far as flyers is concerned, we still have a stack of the small flyers, about this much left. We have a stack of the kid flyers, about this much left. So I think we can hold on for one more of our events, and we should be pretty low by then, and we can reorder them with the new names and wording on them.
Sounds-
Try and get rid of them as fast as possible, and kudos to you guys for finding out that the QR code wasn't working and getting it fixed. Because apparently the QR code was not going anywhere for a while. But now it's fixed and it's working, so. Moving on from that one, let's go to review existing partnerships. So I put this on here because I wanted to find out where we stand with all of our current partnerships that are in action right now. Arts for Autism, the the art animation program that you were working on, the dojo program. Where do we stand on all of those?
Yes, so. This is for existing,
It's for existing, yeah.
okay,
We deferred the potential ones because we don't have time right now. I just want to know, I know Arts for Autism is locked in. We never have a problem with them. They're set to go. Mary Collins, did we pay them? We paid them, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the end, what we put in that budget explanation to the next meeting. Okay, so that one is done. The other ones that we were waiting on approval for were the animation classes and the dojo. That we heard
I
anything?
think, Vivian had mentioned the animation was set to start in August.
Right, but I haven't heard anything.
And I reached out also about the dojo program, and there's nothing yet, and Snapology had been talking to Manny from Parks.
Oh, that's
So in
right.
other words, we don't have any updates on those three.
I'll do a follow-up email and see where they are in the process.
Yeah, you're following up with animation. Can you follow up with your dojo guy and ask him where he stands and what we need to do, and see if there's anything he's missing so we can let them know.
What we were waiting for was for Jeremy to give us a date, like a
Yep.
time and a place, that's it, we were waiting on Jeremy.
Yep.
Or the
Yeah, so
Parks
I reached out
Department.
already. I mean, I haven't received a response yet, but
Okay, so you at least
Okay,
reached out.
Can you reach out again, unless it was yesterday?
It's 5 minutes ago.
Who is the
Ooh,
one
stop it.
overseeing the programs now?
well, when I had reached out initially, it was Manny, so I'm guessing it's still Manny.
Okay. And that was when?
I think at the end of April.
Didn't Snapology tell us that they already had a program? It was the other lady that they wanted to add into their program.
She wanted to do like one for special needs specifically, because they
Yes.
do
They do
inclusive, but they wanted to do it like more specific and.
All right, well, I'm gonna put on my list here to contact Snapology and ask them, where we stand and what they need us to do to help it.
Is there any way we can prioritize
Now, that one-
dojo and?
That one though is
and,
for profit,
animation?
so, you
And
know,
the
when it comes
dojo's
to
been-
for profit, we need to be careful with, like, I think, right?
If I remember right, she was talking about that other lady that was a, an ABA therapist, and our part would be to help support the ABA person to help the program. Wasn't that what she was asking for? I know it's been. a
Which
couple
is
months.
kind of, I don't like. I think sometimes we need to get a more clear picture, like
I can
maybe
ask them-
something in writing when
I
you
can ask
come.
them to do that. Why don't I ask them to just come back to another meeting? And do a deeper presentation of what they want to do and what they think the cost would be, like a building the program like they would be presenting it to get in.
Just not too long, because last
No.
time they took a really long.
Okay, I'll reach out to them for that.
Is there any way we can prioritize the dojo and the animation? The dojo,
Since
it's
it's
going
been
to
on
be
for a
a
long time.
year. It's going to be a year since we're trying to do
As
this.
far as we know, they are,
Yeah, we're waiting for Parks and Rec.
is Parks and Rec can get us an answer.
Yeah,
and get
they're,
started.
we've already, put them in
And why-
touch,
and
both
why
of
don't
them,
they
and they're in between themselves. I don't know what is taking. so
Can I get involved and do my own housekeeping as a bill collector and start calling?
Technically, no, Claricel's yelled at us in the past for that, but,
Thank you.
but you're welcome to do it anyway. That's what we've done. That's what
So
we've
can
done.
I reach out to
about
Manny
this-
since I was the one, like,
If,
that I brought it forward?
You guys-
or no?
have, like, you wanna reach out to Claire, so you wanted to reach out to Isle, to Jonathan, to somebody from Parks. You.
Have
if
the
you
right to do
must,
so.
You can, but you need to copy me in the email.
Okay, so like if I wanna make, it's better than email, not phone call, so then.
It's better.
Okay.
However, emails don't work as well as a phone.
But if you send an email and copy Gabby, then you can pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I just wanted to see if you saw my email.
There you go.
I don't really know the email I sent you.
There you go.
As per our conversation. Perfect.
Okay, that makes sense.
The email thing, to be honest with you, doesn't
We
work.
have 7 minutes.
Okay,
We
great.
got it,
You
we
just
got
reach
it.
fast.
Okay. So I wanted to bring up to you guys, Angel Reach has 2 programs that they're trying to start. One is independent living skills and preparation for job placement for lower functioning youth. And the other part of the program is a self-employment business development program for higher functioning youth to learn foundational skills for establishing and managing their own business. So they're trying to get those 2 programs off the ground and they needed some help. One of the things that as a board will get is that I brought up to Lori was to wrap the doors for her huge events room that she has upstairs on the 2nd floor. She has for 200 people. So we can have that room named the Miami Lakes Special Needs Advisory Board Room or meeting room. And that will be one of the things that she'll work with us if we help her out, but we sponsor the programs. She's looking for about $3,000. So I know we're gonna have the benefit of wrapping the doors for the salon, renaming that salon. I know that we'll get invited to every event they do. So we don't have to become sponsors. So,
I would say, what I would like is if you could get us a sales sheet on that. So we,
In writing,
something in writing,
what
specific,
you're proposing.
what we would be giving them and what they'd be giving us.
yeah,
And also like the program, like for how long are they gonna be the program?
ya no, eso fue un email que me envió, because I'm filling out a grant for her. And she done, oh, in this program, so. I should be getting more information, more detailed information, tomorrow, and I will start emailing everyone. But I wanted to bring it up.
The only thing I find that could be of conflict is that if we have any other groups in the town that also do the same thing, would be asking, well, why didn't you have it donated to us? And I know that specifically because you've got, I never can remember their name. The group that's right over there across from Chipotle that I. toured
The
with.
mass.
Autism, what is that, HOS?
It was something else. It's creative.
Creative Actions,
creative,
yeah, was they're a job placement agency.
Which is similar to
And-
that.
And the profit.
And
No,
SFAC,
they're not for they're not for profit.
they're not for profit.
They're not for profit.
And SFAC still has their adult program here in town, at least for the next year and a half or so until their center is built.
But they're part of the.
So get a proposal and we can compare.
What's the name of the big umbrella for them, because it's creative action, but they're also under rehab.
Creative rehab?
No,
Okay, I just know the creative actions. I don't know the other side.
okay.
But
I know that. Yes, if you brought the other company, which is, they're part of that. Disability. And,
I love that look.
Yeah, I'm not,
yeah.
because creative, I know
But the
creative
papers
action
and everything that, there's also job placement
for people with special needs.
especially.
But creative action has to, in order to be part of Florida Vocational Rehab, you have to be a nonprofit. But the other side, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, they're also not profit, but they're like an umbrella. Like they're the main ones, and then creative action is one of them, then ICANN is another one, and like that, they're like an umbrella of the.
Okay. I know we're right on
So
time.
we need a proposal.
Proposal.
But a proposal.
Any proposal, know what we're gonna get and what we're putting forward. Can you do that?
The proposal, and I
Okay.
just,
All
describe the classes and everything.
Yeah.
And the budget.
Now, let's move over to announcements. Art exhibit, Vivian.
Art
Huh?
exhibition.
What was that?
I'm not. We were gonna discuss that when we discussed all our.
Events.
Okay, so that's an event. So that was just accidental. I added.
Oh, yes, that
So
was,
AA
the
is
event they wanted to
for our
do.
subcommittee on the 26th of July.
Exactly.
All those in favor?
Right.
Motion passed. 4th of July. How'd you guys like it?
I thought it was off.
I thought it was awesome too. So I have some ideas. I was going to take a lot more longer than 3 minutes to tell you, but let me just run some quick ones up. One, we need to have our sandwich board signs.
And I do have a, yes, sign.
We need signs that point with arrows. So we know we were talking about getting the boards with Velcro so that we could have final signs made that we can, remove for different events. We need several of them that have arrow directional signals that say sensory, the sensory friendly room this way. Because I think people did not quite understand, one, what it was, and two, where it was. And it wasn't until we had Clara go up and speak in Spanish that half the people realized what was going on.
There was like 5 people that went after.
Yeah.
We need to
the
better
announcement
promote
was
it.
made.
Yeah.
The other thing that we
Earlier.
noticed, like, people up front listen to everything was happening, but in the back, like, you cannot even hear anything.
I have a completely
So I don't know
different
if there's
suggestion.
maybe like speakers.
Yeah, I was gonna tell,
But that's almost every event, like, that happens often.
no, I was gonna tell, what's the name of that committee, the cultural affairs?
Cultural fair.
To add additional, is that your group?
But that.
They're right out there. You're welcome to stay.
It happens in a lot of events, and it even happens with the movies too, like when they have the movies, whoever's in the front can hear, whoever's in the back, forget it.
These sound people, they do additional wireless speakers. Usually I should look into having two or three in the back.
Especially, events.
For that event.
Our.
Specific for that
You want things to the town is doing, then they people listen and we are awareness.
That's
Well, they have a- I like that, but yeah.
As long as all the speakers are tuned to the radio dial, I can transmit anything.
What else
trying
would
to
you
say-
make a recommendation?
We just need to add I think a few more of the floor stuff. That was really good. They love we need to buy some mats.
I think,
Put
like
that
maybe all the vendors should have a flyer that the sensory
Yeah.
room.
We
Like
should give a
little
flyer.
batches of ask about our sensory rooms.
Oh, that's kinda
That's
cool.
cute.
Yeah, and I think all the vendors should have had a flyer, or like to ask for.
Yeah, but that's completely different.
No,
No, that's complete. The vendor is there for the 4th of
I
July.
don't know what we need to have, the ones
And
that
they're
you put
not-
in the grass.
Right, and they're not there to
To have a
promote the
few of
sensory
those.
room or
Maybe
any of
like
us.
3 on
They're there to
each
promote
side
their
like
business.
that.
Because if you're
We
there
could
as a
have
vendor,
50
you're
of
promoting GT.
Exactly, that, exactly.
I can get you.
Oh,
I
my
can
gosh.
take some sandwich.
Let's
But again, we're gonna have more than enough time to promote it. This is our first year.
But we need
We-
to think ahead, because
Yeah.
a lot of times we wait till last.
We don't
minute
wait
and then-
until
we have time.
July
I
1st.
say in September, after we've finished all of this budget and event stuff, in September, I think we should start planning for next year's event. And we can put together an idea of what we need to have, so that when we hit
And
next
promote it,
year. we
because
forward.
They don't advertise the 4th of July because it's common.
Or
And
just
I'll repeat-
volunteers.
I'll
just
repeat
handing
this also.
flyers and directing people.
When
to
we
it.
have our events, also, we need to be a little more detailed in the things that we're gonna need, so that last minute, we're not, oh man, we forgot this and this and that. I think we need to come up with some type of sheet.
We
There
have
is
to
a list,
inform.
there is a form,
Okay,
there
we
is a
need to-
list for every
okay, we need
event.
that.
Actually, for this particular event, the only thing we missed was batteries and water. That was it.
And I think that is like.
You didn't have any water?
No, we didn't get any water because we were thinking that there was water fountains and that everybody would use the water fountains, but everybody wanted bottles of water.
Okay,
And since I needed batteries for the little remote, because I didn't open the box to see if it was missing batteries, I went to Walgreens and just bought
Okay,
batteries.
safety program.
now wait,
Where
hold
it's
on,
not-
hold on. Vivian, what do you have to add about the 4th of July?
No, I just wanted to ask how many people actually went, since I was not able to go, I want.
It was probably,
Went to our room.
How
No,
many,
you-
how many headphones do we have left?
we gave away 15 headphones, I think.
For like
Maybe with
actually being in the room or.
4 or 5.
Not bad for our first year.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
And I ran into several families that were there that had special needs who approached me after
But they
we
didn't
talked to the
go
mic.
in.
They said, we don't want, the child would say, oh, no, I don't need to go in, I'm good with I'm good with my headphones, or I'm gonna watch the fireworks. They didn't want to go in, but they were so happy that it was there.
Yes.
Right.
So I
And they
think,
weren't there,
That
like
was
the
good.
kids that were there weren't there the whole time either. They were there for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Reprieve,
And
like there for a little bit and then.
and the other thing is next year's, we will get the word out a lot sooner, so that people in the town that have special needs kids know to go.
Yeah.
So that they know that the thing is there for them, because I don't think that they did. I submitted,
Not a lot of them do.
I threw a bunch of stuff in I Love Miami Lakes, I put it in, the Miami Lakes residents, and what?
Me too.
Did you see that one of them didn't even get approved until 2 days after the 4th of July?
Yep.
I was like, are
Okay,
you-
one more thing for the 4th of July, volunteers, how did that work out?
The volunteers really didn't have much to do because we didn't have a lot of people, but they were very helpful.
Did they help
They
set
helped
up?
set up, they helped turn out.
And then find out.
So it's a good thing we have volunteers?
Yes,
Okay,
I would have.
very important.
And I
Very
think
important,
that
and thank you
volunteers
for
can
that.
help with
Yeah,
flyers
they can help
next
with
time,
flyers
they
next
can
time.
go and then just.
Yeah, you know what, we could give, we have a ton of
I have
flyers,
a better plan.
Mm-hmm.
so we'll have a sensory room flyer. We
These
just
are
have
the things
them
we
go
need to
with it.
talk for the event, like.
Okay, it's 7:03.
Got it, one more.
Safety
Go.
The
program.
knock-
Safety
the
pro-
knocking,
Safety program release updates. When are we releasing it? That's the last thing.
I just told you earlier, so that one's actually done. I told you that it's already public on the website. If you go look at the website, you can see the release is there. I'm gonna
The
contact you.
QR code is done,
QR code is done.
so we already released it.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah.
we got about Gabby.
just one announcement and then just a reminder that we were talking about. So the sensory playground location was not given to the town.
The what?
They
The
checked- they
location for
decided
the
not to?
sensory playground. They
Oh,
said that it
playground.
was not given to the town.
So they disagree,
Oh,
they changed their minds on the agreement that they made?
They said an agreement was not made.
Because we didn't tell them a location.
No, the councilwoman Rihanna said that part of Miami-Dade's agreement to open the bridge was that they were gonna give, the FDOT was gonna give them that huge tract of land that does nothing. And that what we were gonna do is try to build a, because they have to move Jakey Dukey's Park into that area because they're gonna turn that into a road for emergency personnel.
Okay, so what do we do? What do you want us to do?
I'm
What
gonna,
do?
No, I'm just letting you know.
I'm gonna follow up with Manny and find out
Okay.
what's going on, because this is gonna be something that is not, they may not even be approved with it yet. It may
Okay,
be something that's a 10-year process. I don't know.
because the town manager also responded on that. So
Tell
just,
tell
I
them to
mean-
call me. I wanna find out what's going on.
Good call, you, yeah.
No,
That's
because
good.
that's what's part of their agreement
And what
for the
was the other-
bridge.
so July 26th at 5:30.
All right, July to, okay.
As far as the bridge or the park is concerned, if that never does get donated, I mean, because I don't know where they're gonna put Jakey Dukey's stuff. They told, because Manny was telling that they had to move it. Because they're putting a road for emergency personnel on the 154 bridge. So if the land isn't being given to us and they have to move the park, then we're gonna have to find out where they're moving the park to, and that would be where our location would be.
And that would be with Manny?
It's gonna be, because I don't think even the town manager has even discussed that yet, because they haven't even discussed the process of putting the fire engine roadway through on 154 yet. The whole deal was getting 170th open. So
Okay,
it's a long-term process. Don't worry about it. This is something that we're working on. It's gonna take a long time. So Anything else?
That's it.
Like the motion to end this meeting at 7:05.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed, meeting over.
Thank you. I love the way the little eyes.